I decided to make a video for you guys about fixing a cold calling system. So this video is specifically for those of you that are attempting to do cold calling to bring in seller leads, or those of you that have a cold calling system but are trying to improve it to get better conversions and go on more appointments through this system of bringing in leads. Hey, what is going on, everyone? Devin can up here with another video. And so, like I already said in the beginning, and the title and the thumbnail and all the other stuff, I'm going to be talking about how I am fixing my cold calling system, how I'm restructuring it, and how you guys can literally take exactly what I'm doing and implement it inside of your own wholesaling business. So inside of this channel, I provide a lot of videos about wholesaling and some other no upfront costs businesses and stuff. So if you haven't already, join the fam, join the game, and the subscribe button down below, highly appreciated. And so I don't know if you knew this or not, but some of you guys know that I've been trying to develop a cold call system for a little bit of time now, and I haven't had extreme amounts of success with it yet. And so I've just been really outreaching to other people that are having success in this side of marketing, because I started off with direct mail and I want to move into more cold calling just because the direct mail got super oversaturated in my market. And now I'm just trying to implement cold calling in order to bring in more leads and have better return on investment inside of my business. And so I've always just been sticking with local wholesaling and trying to take over my local market. But while doing so, it ended up becoming very saturated. So now I'm trying to figure out the best ways to still do deals in my market with what I have available to me. So I've still do deals here and there, but it hasn't been as crazy as I thought it would be. So I'm trying to bring in more and more leads to do more and more deals here and there. So basically what I've been doing is I hired a cold caller, and then I wasn't excited with the results that we were getting, and plus there's some other problems here and there as well. So I'm going to tell you guys how I've been recommended to fix it, and you guys can literally just copy this yourself. So basically what I have learned is, first of all, if you're just getting started with cold calling, you want to make sure that the lists you are calling have, first of all, good data. You want to make sure that you have good data, you're getting a lot of phone numbers, and a lot of these phone numbers actually reach people. So between 3 and 5% is a solid number that you need to be at in order for the data to be qualified as good. So I was hitting about like 10%, which is pretty high quality skip tracing that I was getting. And if you don't know what skip tracing is, it's basically where you send off your list of data to a company, and then they bring you back all the phone numbers associated with the addresses and names that you give them. So basically, I was getting solid percentages, so that means I have good data. That means I have a good skip tracing company that I'm using. And I don't really recommend this company just because I am on a contract with them, and that's the only way to get them to skip trace your stuff. You can do like a test with them, but other than that, you have to be on a contract, which I don't recommend that you get on some sort of company that you have to be on a contract with when you're getting started. There's definitely other companies out there that are going to be able to provide better results for you. So then on top of that, after you have found out that you have good data or not, what you're going to be wanting to do is be using lists that are more motivated. And so what I mean by that is there's a lot of different lists out there that you can cold call, send mail to, whatever it may be. And some of them, they're motivated, but it's a huge list, so it's going to be a lot less conversion rating for those lists. And then there's other ones that are highly motivated because of the type of list that it is. And so examples of this is like one that's a big list, and there's going to be motivated leads inside of there, but a lot of them are just seller leads, not necessarily motivated leads. Is like something like an equity list, as there's a lot of houses with equity in it. And so basically, if you don't know what equity is where you have you've put in so much money, and if you were to sell your home, you're going to get so much back, and you're getting that back all cash because that is what the value has either appreciated up to, or you paid a big enough down payment and paid off the mortgage enough to where you own a certain percentage of the house and you only owe a different percentage. And if you were to sell it, you're still going to make more money on top of what you owe on the property. And so if you pull like an equity list, if I were to pull one in my county, it would probably be somewhere along the lines of like 10 to 50,000 leads, depending on the percentages that I pull. So there's going to be a lot of leads inside of there, and it's going to take a long time to really effectively follow up with all these leads, call all of them, and put them through the process. So what I recommend is you do a little bit more high motivated sellers list. So something like a tax delinquency, or even possibly like an absentee owner, or like vacant properties, everything kind of along those lines. These are smaller lists, but on top of it as well, they are more motivated because of the reason that they're on this list. If they're on a tax delinquency list, then they're behind on their taxes for a couple of years, and they're very motivated to sell their house if they can't pay for the taxes. Which, if they can't pay for the taxes, that means there's going to be a lot more going on than just they can't pay for the taxes. And what you can also do is, if you really have a big budget and you have a lot of data and a lot of lists, you can combine all these lists and figure out who's on multiple different lists. And if they're on multiple lists, then those are going to be your high motivated sellers, and you can try to go out and like door knock those ones or whatever it may be. And so once you have gotten a solid like motivated list inside there, I recommend this if you only have like one caller or a couple callers and you don't have the resources to call some of these big lists, then this is a great way to get started, as like I said, they're more motivated. And then what you're going to want to do is start trying to record the calls that you have and making sure that you're just watching all the numbers, seeing what the call rate is and how many appointments are being set and how many leads you're pulling, like per day, per so much time that you put into calling. And from there, you should understand like, hey, we need to fix some of our stuff. And then if you listen to the recordings, you can really just pick up on some of the different things that you need to work on. And it's exactly like what I do with making these YouTube videos. I don't deliberately try to make my videos like the best videos out there, just like watch my videos and make sure that they're perfect. What I do is I just pick up on different things because I have to edit every single one of these videos that I make. And when I edit them, I'm like, man, I say this word a lot. I do this weird thing with my eye or something at this point, and it's just very common or whatever it may be. And so after so many videos that I've uploaded and recorded and edited, I think my content has gotten like 1,000 times better since day one. Is my content the best? No, I wouldn't say so. But it's definitely getting up there, and I would say my content's a lot better than most people out there that put out videos. And that's not me being arrogant or anything. It's just I've came a long way from where I got started. And so apply the same exact thing to your cold calling and you jumping on the phone with sellers. Because if you just go out there and meet up with people and talk with people, you can definitely learn from that and learn from all the failures and mistakes that you make. But you can really speed up the growth that you have and you're learning by just listening to what you say. The same applies to like anything, especially like people that are getting big into like video games, like Twitch streamers that are doing competitive and stuff and all that type of stuff. They're watching a lot of their games so that way they can figure out where they could have done better, and just treat this business and your cold calling exactly the same, because you have the opportunity with cold calling to see how you can fix different things inside of the call. And if you have trouble trying to pick it out yourself, just have somebody else give you some criticism. I would even send it off to a few people and ask them, hey, what do you think of this? And ask for their honest opinion and see if it seems like scammy or super salesy or anything like that, so that way you can effectively fix it. And so on top of that, you also need to give yourself a couple of weeks just to see how things are going, especially if you're just getting started and figuring out, hey, this isn't the results that I wanted. And what you should do is compare your results to other people that are doing what you're doing in cold calling and seeing what their results look like. Some of these people that are high up and doing consistent like 5 to 10 deals a month, and figuring out what you should do. And the way you can do this is just by networking with other people on different like Facebook groups, like Instagram, the list goes on really. So just try to reach out to people and just go in there with a value mindset. Try to give value and don't really expect anything in return. And that's kind of honestly the secret to talking to anybody, whoever you want. If you just provide a massive amount of value up front instead of just asking for stuff up front, chances are you're going to be able to get in contact with them a lot better. And I just know that from personal experience as well. I get reached out by a lot of people, and I don't respond to a majority of the people that reach out to me because they're just trying to take from me and they're not really giving value back in return. And maybe when I was getting started, I would just be okay, yeah, here, I'll give it to you, because I was like, I didn't really have that much social proof and I didn't have that many people reaching out to me. But now that I have more and more people reaching out to me, it's just if people are taking from me, then I don't really see the value in giving value to them. So there's really no point in me talking with them unless they have something to give back. And that's kind of how it works with networking and building up your brand as to who you are and the connections that you have. So with this is the system that I'm going to be implementing inside of my business. And maybe I'll give you guys some updates as far as things go, maybe what some numbers look like, I can't give you guys too much just in case there's other people inside of my market trying to implement the same things. And if they know what my numbers are, then it could be a little bit of trouble. But I'm going to try to give you guys massive amounts of value and give you guys updates inside of here as well. So anyways, I'm really trying to figure out this cold calling stuff. I have other people that know exactly what they're doing, trying to give me recommendations and everything. So if you guys have any recommendations as well, at least as to where to find solid people to call your list for you and are doing it consistently and the hours that you ask, I would love for you to drop a comment down below and we can have a conversation. I am trying to get this all figured out so that way I can provide more value to everybody and give you all insights on what's working inside of my business so that way we can all grow as a whole. So anyways, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the notification bell that pops up next to the subscribe button. It's a little bell. When you click it, it's going to have these little like wave sounds off of it, and that means that you get my notifications. And if you are on my notification list, then you are going to get updated every time I upload a video because I provide a lot of value. And on top of that, YouTube's going to allow me to grow faster because it notices that a lot of you guys enjoy my content. So if you enjoy my content, make sure you hit that down below. And so anyways, thank you guys all for watching today's video. I highly appreciate it. And so like always, you're only one deal away, and I will be seeing you all tomorrow. Peace.